Rhodes. Yeah. So this is the beautiful walnut and smoked lid version of the preamp version of the piano. So we've got two versions of the piano. This one that has the preamp section on the left, and another version which has all analog effects on the right as well. So like all the classic effects that you would use with a Rhodes, like a compressor, a chorus, a phaser, and a delay, all analog as well. And that's coming very soon as well. But today I just want to show you the preamp version. So this is completely analog, but it also has a layer of digital control on it as well, which allows us to update features such as the wave shapes of the panning. So we can really dial in people's exacting taste when it comes to the waves, such as, you know, people love the old Peterson tremolo from the earlier Rhodes pianos. So we can really dial that in here, and we've got a version of that in here at the moment. So there's some really cool features. Also in the future, we'll be able to send MIDI clock in as well, so that things such as the panning circuit here will actually clock to like your computer, so it'll be completely in sync. And the same goes for the effects as well, which is really a great thing for producers and on stage as well if you're running, say, tracks in the background with a tempo. So it really is a kind of future-proofed Rhodes, but in a really nice way that doesn't take away from any of the stuff that we all love. And at its core, it's tines, tone bars, pickups, damper felts, dampers, and a beautiful keyboard which is made by a company called Kluger, who are part of the Steinway group. So basically the keys in this piano are exactly the same keys that you would find in a Steinway concert ground. So like same materials, same workmanship, and it just feels $1 million really when you come up to try it at the end, which I hope you all will have a little, try and have a little feel of it. I mean, it's amazing how many people are here, so it might be like 2.5 seconds each, but you know, those 2.5 seconds are going to be absolutely magical, I guarantee it.
I'll be pulling you off the road if you go over 2.5 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I digress, but yeah, it's the real deal, and you know, like I was saying before, we're super proud to have to be bringing this iconic instrument back, and you know, paying homage to the old pianos. But we all know that the older pianos could be quite inconsistent as well in terms of the action, the feel, and the sound, and things like that. So one of our sort of big remits is that we want to really, you know, make sure that every piano that comes out is as close to the same as possible. I mean, each one will have its own, will always have its own unique character, but you know, we're building them. We've built 12 prototypes, and each one has come out amazing. You know,
really, Dan, I wanted to say also that if because of the way that you're building it,
yeah,
is that as you play and as you make it yours, it's like it's not a digital instrument. It'll be something that will take this. It'll have its own spirit. Your Rhodes will sound like nobody else's Rhodes because of the way that you play it, and and the time you spend with it, and how you tweak it, and what you decide to kind of like where you decide to keep it, what kind of room you play it in. You know, it's all going to be affected. That's the story of the Rhodes. That's what got the old Rhodes to here. And the new Rhodes is going to continue that. It's going to become your personalized Rhodes. It's not going to be something that just kind of just stays the same all the time. It will change.
Yeah, exactly that. And you know, just like the old models, you can dial in every single note to taste, but this time even more precisely because the parts are so tolerant that you can really just make a small change, say on the tone bars or the pickups, and everything stays where you left it. You know, you might have it on the gig one night or on a tour, then you get it out after the tour or gig and it would still play the same. That's the goal. I mean, I toured with one Rhodes for pretty much 10 years when I was on the road with Morchiba, and you know, I had to do so many repairs on that now, but I learned so much at that time about what I would want if I ever had a situation where I would come to be able to build a Rhodes, you know, like this, which is obviously like, you know, you dream about these things, but you never think they will actually happen. But you know, it's an incredible thing, you know. So you know, I'm I'm just so buzzing about it. And you know, when I look at it here today, when you come out of the factory and you actually just take a step back and look at what we've created together, you know, for all of you here, and that's when it really sort of hits home. Anyway, I'm getting emotional now.
Also, I want Dan to let you know that, to explain that it's where with the old Rhodes, it was hard to find parts and get backup and have a service. Please touch on that.
Yeah, so obviously we've made all these beautiful new parts, which the majority of them are locally made in the UK by companies that want to support us and that are really invested in helping us, are genuinely excited. You know, we can go down to any of the manufacturers within like 1 or 2 hours drive and actually speak to them intimately about every single part, and that's been like so instrumental in this whole process and has allowed us to really control all those little important details which add up to a greater whole, you know. So yeah, we're going to be able to offer all the parts for sale as well to keep old pianos going as well. So all these new uprated parts will also be, they're all backwards compatible with older models as well. So that's a really exciting thing as well. So yeah, that was one of the things we wanted to really support the important old Rhodes owners as well as new owners as well. So you might want some spare parts to take on tour, or a spare lid, for example, in a different colour, or things like that. You know, it's all about, you know, just making an instrument for the people really, and making it accessible and letting you customise it how you want to do it. So on the website we've got a customizer where you can choose different lid colours, the walnut finish or the Tolex case, different stands. So you can really make it your own, which is really nice.
And you got one for Francesco with the Tinder thing on it.
Yeah, anything's possible. Yeah, so I should talk through the features. So I don't know if anyone can see, am I in the way here? Can everyone see over there? We've got a volume control here, which is very important. The next thing, we've got an envelope control. This essentially gives you an auto wah within the Rhodes itself, an analog auto wah. So if you turn up the envelope here and you turn up the gain and set the frequency down here, you get a proper. Pretty nice. Yeah, so that's a really amazing feature. I mean, I've basically built into this preamp with our electronics team like all the dream features that I would want in a Rhodes preamp. So we've got the envelope, then we've got an analog drive circuit as well, which can do kind of subtle. But then it can go completely unhinged and twisted if you want. So that kind of vibe as well. So and then you mix that with the envelope, and you get you know, if you're into like kind of classic fuzz wah, Herbie Hancock style playing, it'll do all that as well. over there. Sorry, I've had my back to you, but I love you. Next up is a parametric EQ. And let me go through how this all sounds as well. So if I set everything to flat, so that's the flat EQ on the piano. First of all, I'm going to turn up the bass so you can hear the low end, which is really nice and round. Go the other way as well and thin the sound out as well. It's pretty powerful, the low end. Sorry, I get carried away. Stop me. I'll still be here at 7. And then we move to the mid-range, which I've already sort of demonstrated what that can do. That's actually a voltage control mid-range as well. So it's resonant, and you can use it as a wah, or you can use it as a straight-up mid EQ. So if you turn up the gain and you just scroll through the frequencies, you can hear. So that really enables you to dial in the bell portion of the sound as well if you want. And there's also a really cool feature where if you turn the gain down and the frequency fully down, you can get it to do sort of a phaser. All analog as well still. And that's also controllable from the pedal as well. So if you select frequency here on the pedal assignment area, you've now got that on an expression pedal down here as well. Which again allows you to keep your hands on the keyboard and still get foot control effects going that you want to use at any point in the song. So you could just switch that in for a chorus or an intro, and then just switch it off again here. And then it's back in. Then if you go the other way, so turn the gain up, you've then got foot control wah. Pretty nice. Very nice, in fact. Liking it so far? Yeah. Right. Cool. Excellent. And then the final bit in the EQ section is the high EQ. So let me show you that. Oh yeah, and also the pedal here, it's like a whirly style sustain pedal, so it's on a cable rather than the rod system, so you can place that wherever you want under the keyboard, and it locks in properly, so it won't fall out. And you can also just dial in the way it damps as well. So if you like a more kind of baggy feel on the dampers, you can get that. And you can just pop off the rear badge, turn a little adjuster, and you can dial in like less or more tension on the dampers, which is a pretty cool feature as well. So yeah, there's loads of control there. And it's nice to have a pedal that you can put wherever you want, because say you want to put the pedal right over there, put your other pedals there, you can do it, which obviously you can do on the old pianos. And then also, this is a cool thing, the mat folds over it as well. I don't know if you can see that. I'll bring one out afterwards so you can see it, but it clips over the pedal to protect it in transport as well. Talking in transport, it's about £30 lighter as well than an old one, which is always nice.
Yeah, let's have a clap for that, please.
Yeah.
Did most of the carrying in incognito.
Yeah. Yeah. Louis' back will be happier for sure. Yeah, so that's the pedal. So yeah, I'm getting distracted again. The high EQ. So I'm going to turn it fully down. This is a really beautiful sounding EQ, really musical and very versatile as well. You know, it adds so much control. You can really dial in the mids, as you can see, add the wah, the envelope, and then, you know, use it as a standard EQ as well if you want. So there's a lot to it. Just in that section alone, just in the preamp alone, it's just light years ahead of anything that's come before it, you know. Yeah, and big thanks to the electronics team as well for doing an incredible job. Yeah. So next thing, everybody wants like the classic suitcase panning in their piano. If it's a stage piano and it doesn't come with it, everybody's always wanted the panning, but we've kind of taken it into a whole new realm. It's called the Vary Pan circuit, and it'll do all the classic Rhodes panning. So it'll go super wide as well. Or much narrower. And the damper, I've got to say, the dampers are they're completely redesigned, so they're just super snappy. You know, there's no bagginess on the note offs or anything like that. It's just like, it's right there, you know. So that's the square wave, but in fact it's kind of modelled like a Peterson wave, so it's kind of got rounded edges on it, which gives it that really super smooth kind of sound. So you've got rate and depth, and then you can go super slow. Is that going across there? Good, that's good. And then but it'll also go super fast. So and then you can blend, using the depth control, you can blend between that amplitude modulated sound and the dry sound. And as you scroll through the waves, they also give you a different texture to the sound as well. So the square wave is quite bright, but then if you move to the upwards ramp wave, you can get all those kind of ring mod effects as well. And do all that crazy stuff as well. Yeah. I don't know if anyone was expecting that, but it's a whole new world. That it's like layering a kind of a polyphonic synth with the Rhodes in itself, and then using the pedals, you can blend between the two or the front panel dials as well. I just want to show you this upward ramp wave as well because it's really nice.
Remember that, Dana? I've got a tune for that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We've got 2 more waves yet as well. Yeah, that's before we even have the effects on here as well. This is obviously just the preamp model. Okay, so this is the triangle wave, just so you can hear the different texture. I love it. It's really hard to stop playing it. It's such an inspiring instrument to work with. You know, you can really get lost in your own world. And finally, the sine wave. Switch on first helps. And that's the Varipan circuit. Yeah, it's a whole other world. You know, you can hear, I'm sure by now, what this piano is actually capable of. It's unlike any other Rhodes before it. So, yes. And then finally here, I'm just going to talk through these because you can assign the pedals to. There's 2 expression inputs on the side, so you can plug in 2 expression pedals, and you can assign pedal 1 here to volume, or the mid filter for wire effects, as you've already seen. And the second pedal, you can actually assign to the panning rate and the panning depth so that you can blend, fade the panning in and out. As you just heard, that's like a kind of synth effect as well, so you can actually fade that in and out with the pedal as you're playing. So that's, you know, a really great thing that you can just spin in and out as you're playing. So you might kind of like, you know, with the wire, for example, you might you might just bring it in on one note, for example, like that. With the panning, you can do that kind of thing. So. There you have it. The Rhodes MK8. MK8. That'd be great. Yeah. Thanks everyone. Really appreciate it.